Hey guys, and welcome to a preview for the upcoming Mists of Pandaria expansion. My name is Sparkuggz, explaining the World of Warcraft guild method. This Razer Academy video will contain a short introduction to the Affliction spec, as it's currently the best spec coming into the expansion. Warlocks have always been a dot class, and even though Warlocks have had a complete revamp in Mists of Pandaria, the Affliction spec and its spells remain similar. We still have our 3 dots: Unstable Affliction, Corruption and Agony. Haunt used to be something we kept up at all times, but now became a spell using soul shards. Instead, using Shadow Ball when you have no dots, to recast we got a new spell called Malefic Grasp. Malefic Grasp is a challenge spell like Mind Flay, and each time it ticks, it procs all the dots on our target and deal 50% of their tick damage. Executing as Affliction is still by using Drain Soul, but now below 20%. Rotation and playstyle of the spec will follow later. Now let's take a look at the talents. The talents have become fight to fight based and should be picked depending on boss mechanics. The first tier of the talents is very self-healing orientated, and most fights you want to use Soul Leech that passively heals us when doing some of our damaging spells. Harvest Life is not used to AoE as Affliction, only in a short time frame where your Seed of Corruption won't explode. If we take a look at the next tier, it's very utility orientated and not really much used in PvE context. Mortal Call can heal you for 15% of your health, and Shadow Fury can be good to stun adds, so pick whatever the fight allows you to use. The level 45 tier talents doesn't have much interest for Affliction Warlocks. Soul Link and Sacrificial Pact are both linked with having a pet, and when you take Grimoire of Sacrifice, you no longer have a pet to use. Dark Bargain is most likely the only talent we can use for Affliction, as long as the Grimoire of Sacrifice is the highest DPS talents for the spec. The level 60 talents are again situational talents to use in PvE context. Burning Rush can give some fast movement speed by sacrificing your health, while your Unbound Will can remove magical debuffs on key encounters. Choose accordingly to the encounter you're facing. The Grimoire talents are the key part of our talents. They provide DPS gain and depend on the spec and the fight we face. On a single target fight, Affliction will need Grimoire of Sacrifice at the moment. It sacrifices our pet and gives our Malefic Grasp, Drain Soul and Fell Flame spell an increased damage. Note that this is all single target spells, which means once we go heavy on multi-dotting fights with around 3 or more targets, you will no longer pick this. The last tier of talents are the level 90 ones, and there are 3 very situational but important ones. They can be hard to calculate when to use, but some basic guidelines are that you want Manorous Fury for heavy AoE fights where adds are very spread. With the 500% more range on AoE spells, you only want to pick this talent for certain fights. The Argument's Vengeance though is our go-to talent. It's a passive reflect of damage on fights you take a lot of damage on. It also has an unused effect where you reflect 25% of the damage taken. The last talent is Kill Jaden's Cunning for movement fights. You want to use this talent when movement is involved. With this talent you can cast with a 50% increased timer on your spells, but the unused effect removes the penalty so you can move and cast freely for 6 seconds. If we take a fast look at the glyphs, there's only one must-have glyph as Affliction. Glyph of Soul Shard, not much to say other than the fact you get another shard, which is more damage for us. There is one situational glyph, Glyph of Soul Swap. At the moment you want to use it only on multi-dotting fights. If you use it on single target fights, you will get a cooldown each time you soul burn and soul swap. But below 20% you wanna be able to spam soul burn and soul swap when your dots are about to run out. Last but not least, playstyle and ability rotation. You always want to start a fight by using Dark Soul, Soul Burn and cast Soul Swap. With the new mechanics, this puts all your dots on the current target and brings faster on demand damage, which is currently the issue of Affliction. Haunt uses Soul Shards, so you will have 3 shards left that you can spend on Haunts, but don't clip them to avoid wasting uptime. At level 90 the passive Pandemic allows you to clip your dots, meaning reapply them before they expire. So be sure to reapply your dots before they fall off. You don't want a dot like Agony to fall off, as it stacks up to 10, and doing so will reset the entire stack. You want to use Malefic Grasp once you have no dots to reapply or other targets to multi-dot, and below 20% you replace this with Drain Soul. Thanks for watching, and remember to visit methodwow.com and follow the Razer Academy.